We've been talking about laws. We've been talking about a lot of crazy things. And guess what? It all started in California with AB5 and then Uber and Lyft trying to overturn AB5, which basically codified drivers into employees. And Uber Lyft said, no way, no how. So we're going to come up with our own thing. We're going to come up with Prop 22 that went to the polls in November a few years ago. And lo and behold, Prop 22 is law of the land there. But it has been challenged pretty much since it was incepted, and now they're hearing the oral arguments, and just heard the oral arguments when it came to Prop 22 to try to overturn. And this is, I believe, in the California Supreme Court, correct? So this is the top. This is the top. You can't go any higher.
This is where it ends. This is where it's going to end. And the oral arguments were last Tuesday. We had to do the show obviously last Tuesday. I had listened maybe like 20 minutes of it, and then I went back and replay. You can go to the California Supreme Court's website if you want to listen. It's only an hour of oral arguments. I thought it was going to be more. Obviously, the pro Prop 22 crowd was there, and then anti Prop 22 crowd through their legal representatives. You guys should listen to it. I mean, I definitely formed an opinion of what I think is going to happen. But I have a massive Prop 22 article coming out. With two amazing journalists to show the hocus pocus of Prop 22. So I'm not going to say much of what my opinion is after I listen to the oral arguments, Chris, is that, anyway, a lower court had deemed Prop 22 unconstitutional due to workman's comp issues. Then appellate court overturned that ruling 2-1. Saying that Prop 22 is constitutional. And then the anti-Prop 22 groups, including a couple of unions, as well as RDU, Rideshare Drivers United, right? And appealed it to the California Supreme Court. Now, you guys you have to understand the structure of the California Supreme Court, okay? There are 7 justices. 6 are Democrats, okay? And they're all picked by the governor, right? So my point is, it's a left-leaning Supreme Court, so they're going to be kind of friendly to the workers' cause, okay? So I'm going to leave it there. We'll keep this a short segment. So when is the decision going to come out? This is a massively important decision, by the way. So you guys know, Uber and Lyft do 20, and DoorDash as well. This is not just Uber and Lyft. This is DoorDash and Grubhub and Target Shipped and Walmart Spark and Amazon Flex. I mean, all these companies, right, use gig workers to deliver stuff or do rideshare with. So this is going to be a massively important decision. Number one, if Prop 22 is found to be unconstitutional, the next day, not next month, next week, next year, the next day, AB5 will be the law of the land. AB5 is the employee versus independent contractor misclassification issue. The next day, all gig workers will be considered employees of these companies, right? And therefore, I've been getting in my app, because I'm in California, I've been getting in my app saying, don't lose your freedom. Don't lose your flexibility. Uber is like constantly pumping up these in-app messages to drivers in California. Why is it also going to be important? Uber and Lyft, in Lyft's case, it's more. 27% of Lyft's revenue comes from California. Close to 23% of Uber's revenue, this is billions of trips, billions of dollars, comes from California. Same as with DoorDash. These companies' business models are not set up. There is 1.4 million gig workers in California, full and part-time. Think about it, okay? This is going to be a massive decision because, look, we already know there was a Department of Labor ruling on the federal side that is trying to convert everybody to employees of these companies. But we had a lawyer on. We talked about that. The federal minimum wage in this country is $7 and change. I'm pretty sure every gig worker is earning above that, so the federal case is not going to be that big of a deal.
One thing I always say is work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, then you may be working harder. So let's change that. Download the app, link your accounts where you can manage your income, track your expenses, and project your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download Solo and begin to work smarter, not harder today. Link is in the description. All right, let's get back to it.
Another important thing here is going to be, we're only thinking about ourselves as rideshare drivers or delivery drivers or couriers, right? There are 600 different professions in California that are true independent contractors. And it's going to affect them as well, just like it affected it in 2018 when AB5 was the law. And, and Uber and Lyft came, and DoorDash and Grubhub came with 250 million and passed Prop 22, which completely nullified the issue of classification. They did it so everybody stayed independent contractors. Look, there are a lot of people who like Prop 22, and there are a lot of people who hate Prop 22. I have mixed feelings about Prop 22, but I'm just going to defer until those articles are out. I don't want to give anything away because I think it's going to be a massive shot across the bow of these companies when that article comes out. The truth is going to be spoken in that article, just like we did last May when we found a couple $100 million to drivers due to lack of inflation adjustment. So please go listen to it. Please read as much as you want if you're in California. It's really, really an important decision. And the estimates at the moment are third quarter of this year, we should have a decision by the California Supreme Court. If it's found unconstitutional, it's trouble for these companies. So.
Oh, for sure. Do you think they'll bring back the next day the rate or set your own rate and all that stuff to try to curtail?
I don't think it's going to work in that case because the first time when AB5 was the law for 9 months, they ignored it completely. On Lyft's side, Lyft completely ignored it, the law for 9 months. Uber at least tried. Uber gave us like the surge meter that we can set our rates, all that stuff, right? And that's when we could see also the upfront destination, all that stuff. Uber at least tried to make us look like independent contractors for those 9 months when they were ignoring the law. But then Prop 22 came and crushed it, and that was it. And the day after Prop 22, by the way, we couldn't see destination, we couldn't set our rates, and that's when the decline started in California when it comes to earnings. And now, I swear to God, every time I go out there and drive, Chris, on base, no surge, no incentives, every single trip, short, medium, long, is getting priced right at the Prop 22 marker, which in LA County stands at $20 an hour before expenses. Okay. And I'm going like, yep, that's what they're going to do in Minneapolis, and that's what they're going to do in New York City, and and that's what they do. So that's the playbook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because why not let it run by the algorithm?
Yeah.
The algorithm can make those real-time decisions, so the drivers stay right in line. And then that's where you can, that's why we were like, why are there different rates? Well, it's right there, because if a driver is making, X, which is above, they can bring it back down. So they can average out that driver right to that level.
Yep.
So again, it creates that floor and ceiling right there.
It's undeniable. $5 for 15 minutes, including P2 and P3. Every trip, even on comfort, $5.50, whatever. And I'm like, it's so obvious now that's what's being done. There's nothing I can do. I mean, if you're going to decide to drive in LA County or in California for base rates, no surge, nothing, you're going to get 21, 22 before expenses. That's it. And then you have to figure out on your own if it's worth doing rideshare any longer. So.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.